Alright, well hey everybody, Matt here with Mercury TV, and today I'm going to be reviewing the HyperX Alloy Origins with Aqua switches. I'll be doing a full review of this keyboard as well as comparing it side by side with the Razer Blackwidow Elite, which is what I've been using for over a year now. Before I get started with the video, there's two things I want to mention. First off, I'm going to be doing two giveaways pretty soon. First off, for hitting 100,000 video views on my channel, and second, for hitting 500 subscribers. All you have to do to be entered to win is follow me on Twitter at MercuryTV2. And once I select a winner randomly, you'll have your choice of either a game on whatever platform you want, a Glorious Model O, or a Glorious Model D. Alright? Second thing, if you don't want to watch this entire video, which is totally understandable, here's what I can tell you about this keyboard. For $106, I think this is a really phenomenal value, okay? The build quality on it is outstanding. The Aqua switches are very nice. They're tactile and silent, kind of similar to a Razer Orange. The only problem that I have with this thing is going to be the software. HyperX Ingenuity, if you go and look it up on the Microsoft Store, has really crappy ratings, and I think it's for a good reason. But we'll get into that later on in the video. But for now, let's get into it. So I'm going to try to break this video down into different sections. First off is going to be price, second is build quality, third is features, and then fourth is going to be software, followed by kind of my final impressions with everything. So in terms of price, the Alloy Origins comes in at $105.99, right? 106 bucks, which I think is really a good price for what you get, okay? Compare that to the Blackwidow Elite, which comes in at $130, but when I bought it, this thing was $170, and I think that you have a very good price point for a very good keyboard. In terms of your build quality, and this is what astounded me, is that for $106, you get a nice thin profile, all metal chassis keyboard. With their their new little Aqua switch, okay, which we'll get into the switches as well, talk about those. But the build quality on this thing is phenomenal, and I really do love the fact that it comes with a USB-C detachable cable compared to most keyboards, gaming keyboards out there, which don't come with any of that. It's solid, man. I know it's thin, but it is not cheap, and it does not feel cheap, okay? The Razer has a metal top plate on it, but it has plastic on the sides, plastic on the back as well. And for anybody wondering if this thing failed me or if I hated it, no. I had no problem with this keyboard. It served me very well over the last year. The only issue that I ever did encounter was this little volume wheel over here, right, on the dedicated media keys. It kind of took on a mind of its own over the last couple of months to where I would just be playing a game, I wouldn't bump it accidentally, and the volume would go from 100 to 94, 94 to 88, 88 to 96. It was just kind of like, what the fuck is going on here, right? So that was the only issue I had. I ended up just disabling the scroll wheel. It was not that big of a deal, and I wouldn't say it's a dud by any means. It's a really solid keyboard, but for $170, it better have a lot of features, right? Well, it's $130 now, but should have a lot of features, right? And it does compared to the Alloy Origins, okay? So this does not feature a detachable, holy guacamole, I'm printing stuff. This does not feature a detachable cable over here, all right? But it does have the cable pass-through in the back. It does have a USB and headset pass-through on the side here. And it has the dedicated media keys up there on the top right. Whereas the HyperX doesn't come with any of that stuff, okay? There's no cable pass-through in the back. There's no dedicated media keys, but it's still very solid in terms of build quality. And what I love about it is that it has a significantly smaller footprint on my desk. These are both full-size keyboards, but you can tell one is a lot thicker than the other one, right? Both of these do have the adjustable feet on the back of them, which allow you to raise or lower it to whatever you want to, right? The Razer does come with an included magnetic wrist rest, which is pretty nice by all standards, right? But I ended up not using it. I ended up buying, when I bought that keyboard, a HyperX wrist rest. So I was all ready to go when this thing showed up at my door here. So It doesn't come with one. I do think that it'd be nice if they included one, but at the same time, again, you're paying $106 versus $130, so there's going to be some stuff missing there, right? But the build quality there and features are fine for me. I don't miss having the dedicated media keys as much as I thought that I would. Okay. Third thing that we're going to talk about, or fourth, I have no idea what number we're on anymore, is going to be the switches. Okay. The Razer Greens, while nice, are very loud. And it's the entire reason why I ended up searching for a new keyboard. My daughter sleeps one wall away from me during the day when she takes her naps. And I got a lot of text messages from my wife that was like, dude, can you close the door? Can you turn it down? Like, they're clickety-clackety, man. And that's what you get with Razer Greens. But they are still a very nice switch, right? And I'm a big fan of tactile switches. I don't like linear switches. They're great for gaming, yes, but if you do anything else besides game, I'm not a fan. I like having that tactile feedback there to know when you've hit a key, okay? And in terms of, a side-by-side comparison with the actuation forces, the Aquas have a 45-gram actuation force with a 1.8 millimeter actuation point and a 3.8 millimeter travel distance, whereas the Razer Greens have a 50-gram actuation force with a 1.9 millimeter actuation point and a 4 millimeter travel distance. So we're talking 0.1 and 0.2 millimeters difference with a 5-gram difference. So it was not that large of an adjustment, okay? Something that is worth noting about these keyboards, though, that I found interesting, that it took me, I thought that I was crazy, but I'm not. The keycaps are ever so slightly, I'm going to try to do my best to show you all this. They are ever so slightly different sized, okay? Shit, no, I can't really get, okay, but maybe right there you can see it, all right? So right here is the Razer one. It definitely has a little bit of a slimmer profile on top. And so what happened right off the bat, I was fat fingering a lot of stuff in games on these HyperXs, on these Aquas, but it just takes a couple of minutes to get used to. It is not a deal breaker by any means, and I'm not going to sit here and say that the Razer Greens are in some way, shape, or form superior to it, okay? Now, I'm going to do a little demonstration of the HyperX Ingenuity software. I'm not going to do a comparison with the Razer Synapse. I think that's been covered a lot of different times by a lot of different people. But Ingenuity definitely needs work, so let's go ahead and talk about that. All right, guys, so here's going to be a quick rundown of the Ingenuity software, which it does say it's still in beta, but I think they need to tear this thing down and restart. So you go in and you select your keyboard. You can change your brightness. You can turn on game mode if you want to right now, which will turn off, Alt F4, all that kind of stuff. And you can go to your presets, all right, where you can select. We're going to mess around with preset number 2 here. So in terms of the lighting effects that you have your breathing, which is very standard, confetti, everything's a different color, swipe, it's a dual color effect there, solid, which is pretty much the only thing I ever use, twilight, which just has your little starlight effect there, wave, your crazy RGB that's pretty much preset right out of the box, and then sun, which is very similar to the fire setting on Razer Synapse. Then you also have your triggered ones. You have your explosion, right? You have fade, which is probably the only one of these that I ever like to use. And then you have implosion as well, which is, kind of neat, I guess. But the only one I ever use is going to be fade or solid. You have the ability to go in and rebind any key that you want to anything else, which is kind of nice, but it's also a little bit confusing. I don't rebind anything, right? But you can change it to a macro, whatever you want. I really mess around with the macros, but I haven't heard really good things. And then once you're done with everything, right, you go through and you say preset 1, sync to preset 1. And this is going to save to your onboard profiles here, okay? Preset 3, whatever. And so in theory, and in terms of the software, it looks great. It looks like it all works, but I'm about to show you why it doesn't work, right? Okay, so here's what I'm going to consider to be a really shitty angle, but I want to show y'all what I'm talking about with the software not remembering jack shit when it comes to this, okay? So, here we go. HyperX Ingenuity software, okay? Going to the keyboard right here, all right? Let's go ahead and make that a little bit bigger so everyone can see it. Let's check it on that. Yeah, that's all right. All right, so I go to presets over here, okay? Preset 1, we're going to have it with this this multicolor business. Preset 3. Let's go ahead and change this up. Okay, all lights. We are going to delete that effect. We're going to add an effect. Let's go with fade. I'm a big fan of fade. That's where you type, lights up for a second, and then it stops, right? So we're going to add that, right? We've got fade. It's going well. All right, so we go to presets. Preset 1, we're going to sync that to preset number 1. Preset 3, we'll sync that to preset 2. And preset 2, we're going to go with number 3. All right, cool. Thank you, software. Now, let's go ahead and swap back to preset 2. Okay, nothing. Let's go ahead and go to preset 1. And nothing. Preset 3, we're just going to get a flash there. Can we try number 2 again? All right, we got number 2 up, guys, and the lighting is just off. And there y'all go. There's HyperX Ingenuity software for you. They definitely need to work on it. Basically, if you want your preset to stay up, you just got to go to the software, select which one you want, and then that one will oh, great. I think that demonstrates it well enough. Okay, so I think we can all agree that the software definitely needs some work, and I hope that HyperX addresses that pretty quickly, because this is a phenomenal keyboard in terms of hardware. They just need to get on par with the software. This is a definite recommended buy from me, okay? Something I noticed that I was rewatching some of the footage, I didn't really do a good typing test on this. You weren't able to hear it, but that's it, man. It's a nice tactile silent switch, okay? You can't hear this rooms away or anything like that. Since I got this, my wife has not said anything. And just for a quick comparison, the greens, much louder, right? But still, Blackwidow Elite was a solid keyboard, so I'm gonna retire that, put her in the closet. That's gonna do it for the video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the section below. I'll try to get to as many of them as I can. Remember, follow me on Twitter at MercuryTV2 if you want to have a chance to be entered to win on either one of those giveaways that I'm doing in the next couple of days, weeks, months, whatever, how long it takes. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys stay safe, stay healthy during this quarantine and uncertain times. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys on the next one.